We put the love back in your right. It's love in black and white. We put the love back in your right. It's love in black and white.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Love in Black and White, where each week we put the love back in you right. I'm one of your hosts, Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth, and as usual, we have the Coco co-host,
The Coco co-host.
part-time famous, full-time funny Carlos Anthony.
We in the building. What's going down in these streets?
In these streets, and we actually have a guest today.
What's
some
up,
of her
everybody?
credits? She's already
You're
fucking
gonna
up.
wait for
Please.
your credits.
Let me give you your intro first. She's a model. She's a social media personality. Amari DeJoie.
What is up? Yeah.
Don't that,
And,
that sound fancy, don't it?
I know. I sound like important.
That's just DeJoie.
I would like to do the thing with like Game of Thrones where it's like second of her house, first of her name. You know, yeah.
Do you watch Game of Thrones, Carlos?
I did actually. I did. I watched all of it. I haven't gotten into this House of Dragons.
Oh yeah.
I haven't gotten into that one yet. But Game of Thrones, I was all in.
I'm currently trying to put the link up.
Yeah, because it looked like you were
Sorry.
frozen there for a second.
Oh, no.
I'm currently putting the link up for this as we go right now. Okay, I just said that we're live now, and okay,
And we're recording.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are recording. God, we did our last episode. We were like 20 minutes in. We had a fucking great episode, and then I look up and it says, "Do you want to go live?" And I was like, "You motherfuckers, error."
Right.
So a little inside ball, is that what they say? Inside info. Amari is my lady's daughter.
Yeah.
And so
I am.
and Mari's in the process of moving out here to Vegas, so she's staying with us right now. She's getting situated with work and a place and all that stuff. So that's where we're at. Anyways, so topics today. We have Amari on because we have Carlos has a great topic that we wanted to get a woman's input, and so that's why we have her on. First, we'll get to that one. We'll finish with that one. So Amari, you get to join in on our other ones.
Okay.
And I just noticed I didn't even put any other topics other than what you wrote, Carlos. Dude, I've been. I'll tell you after the podcast. I have an excuse. Okay, here we go. Thank you. I appreciate that. You always do, man. You always do, man. I fucking love you, man. All right. Is aggressiveness in pursuing someone attractive or a turnoff / red flag? And I guess we should clarify the aggressiveness, like to what level? Like, hey, bitch, I love you.
So let's clarify. So that is overly texting, overly calling all the time, constantly in a state of need.
Moving into the apartment next door to you.
Yeah, the small things in life.
That's happened to Carlos.
That actually happened to my old friend. Like she broke up with her boyfriend and then he moved next door and then he called her every time he would see like another guy at her house getting ready to go on dates.
Oh, Carlos has a stalker, and it's none of that. It was like a one fling. Yeah. And this lady moved into the apartment next door.
So yeah, that's what's going down in my life.
Okay, so no, I had said this story once upon a time before, but I accidentally went on a date with a neighbor who lived in my apartment complex and didn't realize they lived in my apartment complex because I met them at the gym. And when they asked me out on a date, I was like, all right, like, yeah, I'm going to go outside and go on a date and get back out there. And then we had a really shitty date. And so at the end of the date, they were like driving me home and I was like, okay, cool. And then he pulled out a garage clicker remote and it opened my garage. And I was like, what? And it was like, oh, I live downstairs. I live in this building down here. That was not charming. That was not charming at all. I didn't find it sweet or like, oh my God, like a rom-com. We're going to fall in love. It's two crazy kids and move into apartments together. It was a very creepy thing to find out.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like with Angel, I'm like, man, you live here? I'm just kidding. She's gonna kick my ass if she ever hears this. And we're gonna have Angel on here at some point, and also Carlos's significant other, if he ever has one again. Okay, so
that was quite confusing. I was like,
Are you sitting out submissions now? It's like, okay, ladies, you too could be on the show.
Right.
You gotta date Carlos though. But
well, you know how much ain't no lady ever coming on this show.
Yeah, you know how much I would love, but it would just restart problems if we had your stalker on, Carlos. But not tell her like all the shit that we've talked.
It's giving
just act like nothing's going on.
Yeah, you just present it like, oh, they just want to talk to somebody that maybe I've dated or been on a date with, you know, and then she comes on and all of us are like this. As we're fucking watching her.
When she was your neighbor, was she weird or was she like
well,
did she just live next door?
Yeah, we have to hold the backstory. The backstory, she wasn't living next door to me. She was actually living in a different building.
Okay.
And we were cool. Mm-hmm. Everything was cool. And then she decided, hey, no, that ain't close enough, I guess. And was like, fuck it, I'll move next door. And then after that, she got weird. She did get weird. And then now we don't talk at all. So which is fantastic with me.
Yeah.
So there it is. So you just a neighbor. The only thing that separates us is the stairwell. So yeah, there it is.
Good. At least she didn't steal your packages or anything. You know, they can vengeance.
I have been missing a couple of.
I mean, she did take his package for one night. Okay, come on, guys. I'm here all week.
Hey yo,
hey,
fucking boo.
We need some sound effects now.
And Carlos has said it wasn't his best performance, so maybe it was Amazon Express. Okay, guys, I'm still here. Okay, guys, fucking boo.
Same day delivery.
Yeah. Take your mic cover off. Yeah, because it keeps like flickering on with your. There we go.
Yeah. I'm fighting Apollo for the cord here because he keeps hanging out near the bottom of this, trying to kick it. I think to be close, but yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess back to the first question.
Aggressiveness, all the way back, full circle.
Good. Is aggressiveness in pursuing someone attractive or a turn on? Okay, so we got to establish what's the level of aggressiveness, and also from both sides. Like if you're pursuing, what do you feel like is aggressive on your end? Mm-hmm. Like, because there's been times where I'm like, if I don't feel like it's being reciprocated, like if I'm always calling or I'm the one always initiating text and all that shit, I'm like, I'm good. You know, because I don't want to feel like I'm fucking annoying being a stalker. So let's set the boundaries. I'll let you do it, Carlos, since you presented the question on the aggressiveness.
This again, I think it's going back to how overly proactive they are, for lack of better words. Because again, it goes to what you said. I definitely don't mind the contact, because that's you have to be in contact in order to get to know somebody. But when you're constantly texting or calling and asking for, hey, what you doing, that to me can get annoying. So for me, that's where I guess I'm gonna set the groundwork for just a very surface level premise for that. So you go. Yeah, it's all y'all.
Okay.
So they're not out in the bushes.
They're not stalker level yet. They're just they're mildly irritating.
I'm not getting hit in the head with a rock basically and dragged behind like a cave. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so then that's like,
because let me put an asterisk by this. I asked that question specifically because it's happened again recently.
New stalker.
So I'm like, okay, let me pose this question: am I tripping? Or is my expectation?
Carlos's dick apparently is laced with crack because.
It's like, what are you doing? What are you promising these people?
Putting that thing on them. Putting that hot tool on that thing.
I haven't done
can be as big
anything with this woman at all.
Have you been on a date yet?
No.
Okay, so it's just been her texting and calling you a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. This is good. We have an example. All right.
Okay.
How did you guys meet?
We actually met online.
Online dating?
No, just online. Just
like on Instagram or something?
She's one of the followers.
Slid in your DMs.
Yes.
Okay, cool. See, I'm trying to get
Well,
because
this is where
because
it
if
leans into fan territory, where it's like, is she a fan or is she a girl that you met online? Because it's like, oh my God, I get to hook up with a person that I'm like
I've never
following.
met this woman before. I've never met this woman before, and I don't know. I've never seen her at a show. I've never seen her at a show. So either. So I've never
Okay.
physically seen this woman.
Does she live here in
She's
Vegas?
all in.
No, well, and that's here we go with starting.
This is getting crazy.
She said she was in the Air Force and Nellis, and I started asking more questions because I'm like, okay, so where are you now? She was like, I'm in Okinawa on deployment. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. That could happen. But I'm also like, again, let's not do the catfish shit either. Because I've never seen you. I personally have never seen you. But she's been blowing up my phone via text.
I can say, knowing you, Carlos, and other than the too much calling, right now it sounds like a pretty great setup because I know you like your alone time. So if she's in Okinawa, yes. What up, crazy
setup.
cutie? Crazy cuties in the chat. We have Amari as our guest.
No, crazy. Here we go again.
Okay. So you don't. Has she said she's ever been to a show or no?
She said she's never been to a show, and she just followed me online. I don't know where she found me online.
Because chicks do dig funny dudes, so it's like, oh my God, I nabbed a comedian. I'm gonna like hook in here, hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, that kind of seems like what's happening if she's a real woman.
She must be fine though, huh?
She's attractive, but again, yeah. I tread lightly because I've never seen you personally, so I don't know if that's the real you or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if
those attractive,
if the picture, the reason why I say this is because somebody in Okinawa, like if she wasn't attractive and like I live in Okinawa, I really like you, you'd be like, oh cool, yeah, just keep supporting. but if they're fine, then you'd be like, all right, let me just see it out. Let me just see what might happen.
And
How I Met Your Mother did an episode that was based off of this very topic, like literally, and it was called like the Dahmer versus Domer effect or something, which is the fact that it could be perceived as like these huge romantic gestures that we all love, like, him standing outside with the boombox in the rain. Like, it's a sexy, endearing, sweet moment in the time. But if you're not interested in that man and you weren't attracted to him and he did that, it changes into being creepy. So like the level of attractiveness matters for the action in order for it to not be received creepy, because good looking people can be as creepy for a really long time before you realize it's creepy.
I agree with that. I agree with. I will agree with that. Actually, I will definitely agree with that.
So,
because you accept more from somebody that's pleasing to the eye. I mean,
I think really so crazy. You came in a little late, but the question was: is aggressiveness in pursuing someone attractive? Is it attractive or is it a turnoff / red flag? And I think this goes back to what you hear about like sexual harassment in the work's Mm-hmm. It's sexual harassment if the guy's ugly, but if he's fine, then it's flirting.
There it is.
So, because I mean, if it's a say whoever your dream woman is, I'll say Angel.
Oh.
So if,
like, tell her you said good things.
Fucking smart kid. No, like if Angel is aggressively texting, like you're in the courting phase or whatever, and it's a girl I really think is attractive and I dig their personality, then I'm not going to be annoyed by them calling or texting me, But if it's a girl that maybe I'm just like, I'm kind of attracted to her and she's chill, she's okay, like personality wise, maybe there's some red flags, then I would be more quick to get annoyed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what I think as far as like how I look at it. If I was in this situation, like if this girl is fine and seems like has a bomb personality. Now I know you haven't done FaceTime or anything with her, so you don't know if you're getting catfished. So that's the first thing you got to do, because then you'll know if you're being annoyed, if it's annoying or if it's attractive.
You're like, but piqued my interest.
But here again, you know me, Jay, and I where I'm at mentally with it. So it's hard for me. Even you'd have to be one-on-one with me for me to feel like it's not annoying, especially if you're saying you way across the water. I'm gonna be a little bit more annoyed and that's a selfish thing for me to say, but it is what it is. I'm gonna be more annoyed with you doing it now because I'm like, I don't really know you like that. We never had any time together like that, so now it's just becoming an irritant to me. So I don't know. I don't know.
And I put it crazy up. Crazy Cutie said, "Well, I think more or less it can be overwhelming if you're not seeking for that kind of attention." Yeah,
that's exactly it too.
Yeah,
and I think that spoke right to the heart of what I just said. I don't know if I'm seeking that kind of attention anyway. So it's like I don't know. You're doing too much. I'm getting the early morning, the late night text, the middle of the day, the afternoon, the morning. I'm just like, come on.
I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. I'm not even getting the text, dude. First off, yeah, okay. If it's like that, and you haven't even verified she's not a fucking dude that looks like me in fucking in Michigan, yeah, the first thing you got to do is do a FaceTime with her, and like, because texting is one of the worst ways to communicate, and a phone, because like you can't see facial expression, body language, any of that shit. So if you can get on the FaceTime, verify that she's legit. Okay, now we can go to the next thing. Is she chill when I'm talking to her or whatever? That's because I'm a real person, Alicia. Yeah.
Well, like also too, I think like I curve men daily. That's a daily activity as a woman.
Okay,
daily, it's a daily experience of I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be touched, harassed, breathed on, looked at. I just want to exist. Like, like if you want to go to like a Walmart really quick and you're like, I'm just here to like mind my business. It's actually happened to me where like a man has double looped back and forth in an aisle that I'm in. I see him doing this. I'm annoyed and I'm giving every like, don't come here, leave me alone. And then he'll still come and be like, can we talk? And there's the two most annoying things that begins in conversation where like I curb them and then they go, well, can't you have friends? I don't want to be your friend. What qualifies you for friendship for me? Are you going to take me to the airport? Are you going to listen to me, like, vent about my man? Because I don't think that's what you're interested in. And yeah, that's like an ongoing experience to have every day. And again, it's if you're not even looking for it, if you're not even in the mood set for it, it's like an annoying thing. Or even worse, when like I befriend a man and I'm like, oh, I just had a normal human interaction with you. There's nothing remotely sexual about this interaction. I'm just being polite. And I say something like, oh, we could be friends on Instagram. And then after that, I end up with like 10 messages that I haven't responded to yet.
Well,
if I haven't responded to your messages, I'm clearly not interested. And the pursuit of it, I feel like I would be showing back some signs if I was kind of like into it. And I don't like, I get men think like, I'll just wear women down. But it's annoying.
I'll wear them down. I'm working on this.
Well, my favorite is, and I'm sure you've got this a lot, Amari. What up? Shout out to Victoria, just came in here. We have a guest today, Victoria. We have Amari on. We might have you on, Victoria, too, Victoria, at some point. But my favorite though is, and you'd see it in the clubs all the time. I never did this. I'll tell you how I would handle it, but like, a guy approaches you at the club, like, whatever their pickup line is, hey girl, what your name is, or whatever, whatever. And then, you could be very politely let them know you're not interested. And they're like, well, fuck you, bitch.
Yes. Yes. I've been cursed out. I've been cursed out many times in LA.
Definitely heard that.
And it always cracked me up. What I would always do, like when back in my clubbing days, like if I approached a girl and I was like, I honestly, I would always just say, hi, and just want to know what your name was, and then try and talk to her. And if they say, hey, I'm not interested, or I have a boyfriend, or whatever they may say to let me know that they're not interested, I always would just say, well, no problem. Just know somebody thought you were beautiful today, and just take it as a compliment,
is so smooth.
And then move on. And I'm good.
That is so smooth. And like, for men that I've turned down who have been, nice or whatever, and I don't like them, I still think like, I'm going to clarify.
That's what your mom saw.
we heard it the first time. We heard it this whole time. The first time.
He's going to hit me with your mom jokes.
Yeah, no shit. What up, Stefan? Stefan Moody is in here.
I got to get back to this crazy cutie made another comment. She can pull that up. I wanted to read that. I can.
She said, yeah, it's just the way people can do it and present it that make it likable and not likable. It can be somebody that you normally wouldn't be attracted to, but they're 10 times more tolerable. Tolerable is such a fucking interesting choice of words. I mean, I guess is all right.
I don't hate him so much when he chews. So I guess
tolerable.
That is hilarious. Good one, Crazy.
That should be in. I hope that's in a marriage proposal to you, Crazy.
I find you
Crazy,
tolerable.
I love you, and I can tolerate you. Will you marry me?
Those would be so
That's
pure
what
as
most
vows.
relationships really are. How much can you tolerate? How much can you tolerate?
Can I simultaneously exist around you is like a nice thing. Like where you
absolutely.
Where you're like, we're hanging out, but we're not hanging out. It's such a nice thing to like hang out in a house away from somebody. Yeah,
absolutely.
Feels good.
Crazy said, I just don't agree with people necessarily going to that type of scene if they don't expect things like that to happen. Go to a place not as known for that type of actions. I'm thinking you're talking about a club.
Clubs.
I don't know. Of course they don't, because they want their attention.
I've been hit on in the weirdest experiences. Like I had to get stitches recently.
We get
the doctor,
it. You're pretty. You're a model.
The doctor who was hitting on me, not reading the room.
I hope it wasn't your gynecologist during an appointment. So, hey, so
what are you into later?
I really like your personality. You seem real tight. Oh, what?
But then I was just like, how hard up for women if this man is like, my hand is literally ripped open right now, and there's another man sewing it back together, and he's like, so like when you're done with all of this,
wow,
like what's the deal?
He's like, I could fix your hand and take it in marriage. What lyrics?
You're gonna do this all show, huh? Okay, all right.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I'm on one today. So we're gonna have a little bit shorter of a show. It's only gonna be 45 minutes a day, and so I'm gonna go to the next one, and then we'll get to the why we have Amari on. Okay, so do you believe that roles are reversing in dating these days? Meaning, more men want to be wined and dined, and more women want to be the leaders within the relationship.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The incels are about to be angry.
Amari.
Incels are about to be angry. I love Twitter. Twitter's still an awful place. So I see men complaining about what dating has become for them, and I'm just like, I think you just need to man up. Like truthfully, because it's like, yes, you want to be wined and dined and things, and that's okay too. But if that's the case, and you want to be, I don't know, I guess I'm describing this wrong because I have a point, which is usually men are like, I have to rework my thought.
We're like,
okay, yeah.
Okay. So like back in the old days, the reason our roles were reversed because I would be at home all day. I didn't have a bank account. I wasn't allowed to do anything. My only job was to
good
make
old days.
to make meatloaf, right? So of course I have time to just be looking in Vogue magazines and looking at restaurants and things I would like my husband to take me to do because I have nothing to do all day but watch TV and come up with things to do for when he gets home. Whereas now we both equally work, we both equally pay bills. So like the gender norms are kind of bending just because the things that are once like not expected of women are now expected of women. And we feel like if we're doing these things too, then what's the point of a man? Like, okay, I'm gonna take him out to dinner. I'm gonna buy him flowers. What's next? You want a pretty dress for tonight too? Come on, baby, I'll take you to the theater. Get dressed. It's like, it's okay, but to complain about it, like we should have give and take in the relationship. It should be equal. There shouldn't really be a gender role in things. Like if I'm like, oh, honey, can you wash my laundry for me because I'm in a rush? He shouldn't look at that as like a weird thing because I would do it for him. So I think men are having a hard time with that. And it's like, and if you want women who, cater to you, do all the things, whatever, well, then she's not going to work.
Okay,
she gets to stay home and make meatloaf.
So in the question, there was nothing about our guys complaining about this. It was asking, do you think that the roles are reversing?
I think they are, but that's why they're reversing, and that's why they're complaining. They're like, "What do you mean?"
Oh, who are you saying doing? Because I don't hear. I agree with that on Jay. I don't think there are any men complaining about being wined and dined, which is that. I got my own opinions on that, but I don't hear men like, man, this woman keeps trying to take me out to dinner and treat me nice. This shit is getting weird now. I don't hear that.
No, it's more so like they'll be like, what she bring to the table? If I do this, what she bring to the table? It's like
I hear a lot of that.
I'm like, she's the table. She's bringing you the table.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole different.
You opening up the floodgates. That's what I'm talking about. This is what love and hip hop does. Love and hip hop.
Yeah,
love and hip hop. What the fuck? Exactly. Crazy Cutie said, "Do unto others as you would like to be done to. If you want somebody to treat you with respect, loyalty, and love, do the same. I don't mind treating somebody out, but I don't expect it for me. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said, I mean, I've heard, okay, so, and I'll be honest, like Amari knows this. I watch all kinds of debate videos and shows of people that I may have zero in common with their point of view, but I love to see how people debate and how their minds work on trying to get their point across, even if I don't agree with it 100%. And I've been seeing on a lot of like whatever you want to, misogynistic videos or whatever, you know, like what's that one fucking the two dudes they're in Miami and they have women on there and
Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
they were talking about they were talking about and I mean I agree with one point of this where they say that men all the time will date down. I mean, I don't necessarily consider it like dating down, but they'll, you know, if a girl says like, I work at McDonald's, a guy will be like, I don't give a fuck, you know, whereas they ask the women, would you date a guy that works at McDonald's? They're like, oh, hell no. He's got to make a minimum of this, and this, or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, as far as like the roles reversing, I don't really, care as far as like I've always said I don't care what you do for a living or I don't care as long as you have goals, whatever the goals may be. So I've always said like you can work at McDonald's, but is your goal to get on fries? You know, what's your goals? You have goals. Where I don't know if women are feeling the same. So as far as if the roles are reversing in dating, I mean, I've been, you know, in a relationship with your mom now for 3.5 years or whatever.
That sounded so crazy to say it like that.
I know.
I've been dating your mom for
yeah.
Your
mom dunks throughout this.
but I mean, like me and your mom, like it really is a partnership, you know. I mean, like, and I still like when we go to the movies or whatever, I still will pay for the most part. I mean, but she'll also, you know, there's times where she's like, no, I'm treating tonight or whatever, and we don't really trip off of it. But
and
like,
that's how it should be.
Yeah, in my opinion, but I'm very wise, as me and Carlos say, which is our, you know,
Carlos's face. He said,
Well, Carlos is wise too. He's about to be wiser because he's about to turn the big 5-0. But
all good.
But I'm not sure, but I'm assuming Carlos is the same as far as like if I'm asking somebody out, then I'm gonna pay for it. You know, I'm taking them out to dinner and this and that. Now, if a girl asked me out, I mean, I remember when I had a birthday. I think it was when I turned 21. This girl wanted to take me to the movies, and this is how dumb I am. Like, I didn't have a car at the time, so she picked me up. And when she picked me up, there was like a bouquet of flowers in the passenger seat. Very sweet, right?
Yeah.
I'm so dumb. I thought she left flowers that some other dude had gave her in the car. So as I got in the car, I picked them up, and then when she got in, I go, where do you want me? Where do you want me to put your flowers? And she goes,
those
are for you. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know how to react. I was like, that was very nice. You know, I mean, I appreciate anytime somebody does something nice for me, but I don't ever expect it. And I don't know. I'm like, if a girl asked me, hey, I want to take you out and my treat, I wouldn't be like, nah.
Right. Well, yeah, so I had went on a date, like a Hinge date, like a few years ago. And I always make an effort to pay for myself for those first few dates of me getting to know you, because I don't know you. I don't expect anything from you, but I damn sure don't want you to expect anything from me because you paid an $80 tab and not that you know we're going to get lucky or something. So I always pick up the check first. And it also like lets me, you know, put things in balance of like, no, I'm whoever I'm looking to date. It's looking to date somebody to like be a partnership thing and not a hierarchy. He's this and I do this and he leads me and I do this or whatever, because I'm also
again, the good old days.
I'm very independent, but like, you know, with independence comes some cool things too. Much like you said, like girls who might bring you flowers from time to time. I don't mind taking a man out to dinner. I've treated men to dinner before, but yeah, I do think the dating is changing, or even like being stunted. Like, for instance, if a man doesn't call you back in the day, that used to be like, oh my God, we hooked up and he never called me back and I'm so crushed. Now women don't call men back after dates, and then the men will hit you up and be like, hey,
what's going
like,
down?
haven't
What's
heard
happening?
From you know, what's new? And
the good new days.
Right. The good new days.
Yeah. And it's like, that's like the reality of what dating is like as far as changing goes. And he's just embracing change.
And you're a millennial, right, Amari?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think what Victoria just said though, further up, she said, I think more younger generation do, and I think that's where I'm kind of leading to, because I hear a lot of the younger homies that say, "Man, I ain't going out with no woman if she can't do this for me," and I'm like, dude, where are your balls at? Like, look at what are you a man? Like, are you expecting the woman to do everything, and then you kick in on the back end? Like, what's the give
Be
here?
happy to make meatloaf all day and vacuum and dust everything. If you paid all bills, paid for all my vacations, expenses, and I had a regular dinner date planned every Friday night at some, I don't know, dinner club, that's what you got back in the day when you did all those things. So I don't get those things, and I still got to make meatloaf.
I'm tripping off, Carlos. You said you're hearing young fellas saying that they're like, well, what can she do for me and this and that, dude? And I'm sure you'll agree with it. That sounds like a bitch back in the day.
Right?
What you gonna do for me?
Yeah, that sounds like back in the, like when I was in my 20s, that's what a lot of women were on. Like, well, what can you do to me? What do you bring to the table? This and that. And I'm like, I would only respond with that, like, well, what the fuck do you bring? But I would never go into dating now like that's my first thought is like, well, what's she bringing to the table? I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
It also works the other way too, because I went on a date like in the past few months too, where I talked to this person. He was really nice, and he was talking about how he was like, I'm the type of guy where I want to support the woman. My wife or my girlfriend doesn't need to work. And I was like, that's really sweet and like endearing and thoughtful. Like, it gives you all the provider energy, but at the same time, it sounds really sad and boring and controlling. And I don't want you to pay for everything. I want to have autonomy.
I would say one thing though that is different that I think we all should recognize is like fucking cost of living, how much money people are making now, where back in the day it was a lot easier for if the money I'm making now, if I was making it in the fucking 80s, it'd be easy for me to be like, oh, I can handle anything, everything. You don't got to work, blah blah blah. But now with like fucking housing costs and cars and everything,
Amazon packages and everything else.
You gotta get that Amazon.
You gotta get the package. You gotta get the package.
Did you celebrate Prime Day?
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, I did. It did.
Yeah, that's what the stalker. She fucking.
Oh, yeah. You had to eat Prime Day all day.
All right,
she wants to be a member for life.
We got about 15 minutes left, so let's get into this. Okay, why get with someone you feel like you have to quote, this is for ladies, why get with someone you feel like you have to quote mold into what you want? That's the question. Can possibly, sorry, I was about to read hey, bring a guest on. So that's the question. Why do women get with someone you feel like you have to mold into what you want versus, and I was telling Carlos, I used to have a joke where I would say that, when guys and girls meet each other, when a girl meets a guy, she sees how, and likes him, she sees like the potential in him. She sees how great she can be. So I always say like, she may be trying to change you, but in her mind, she's trying to change you for the better. Whereas guys, when we meet a girl, if we meet a girl and we like you, we're like, oh, this chick's dope. We're like, don't ever fucking change. Don't fucking, this is great. I fucking love this person. Don't fucking change.
Right.
I think it's because it's like, okay, there's two things to that. I think for one, it's kind of like if you buy a house, like you're not going to do any renovations on a house. You could buy a brand new house, and you're still going to want to, add some flowers or change the lighting, and you're like, it just adds more value to it. It just increases it. And I already see the potential. I already know what this is. I know what this diamond is that I'm holding. That's why I picked him out. And it's like, obviously women have a lot of options when dating. So it's like, okay, this one guy was this, but he didn't meet my other needs. And this other guy was this, but he didn't really quite meet my needs. And I didn't have good chemistry with him. But this is my person. I love them. Everything about them. If I could just help them
inside a woman's brain right now, and it's fucking me up.
It's like, if I could just help him with this one thing, like say, for instance, the one thing for him is like a good example, dating in college. Go to a guy's house. He has a bed on the floor. And, he has one singular chair and a really hard, dry, crunchy towel. And he's like, just enough plates for him. Just enough for him. Nothing that he thought that needed to be added to that. But like if he had a girlfriend, the girlfriend is definitely going to be like, I'm going to get you some plates. I'm going to get you some cups. Their beds on Amazon are $200. You can't be sleeping on the floor. Like you'd add to it.
Okay, that's all cool, but that's not changing him.
It's changing.
Is that what you're about to say, Carlos?
And there you go. Those are. I don't even know what
Improvements.
improvements. But we're talking when I specifically say that, I want to say women that feel like they have to go in and change a guy's entire I say existence for who he is to something that she wants him to be. So that to me is like
you very much if they want you to drastically change that much.
And that's what I'm talking about. So let's go back to your example of you're not going when you walk into a new house, you are going to change a few things. They're like, hey, shoot, I want to change the lighting. The lighting, like you said, those are things here. But if you're talking about a full renovation project,
that's not your man and you don't like him.
Yeah, then why would you why would any woman take on that type of responsibility and then complain about it later that she had to do all that for him? Then you should go get you someone that's closer to that new house that you want.
You know what? I got another add to this though, because you're like, men don't change women, but there are a lot of men who like they'll meet their girlfriends or their wives and they'll be like, I don't like this about you, or I don't like it when you wear your hair like this, or I don't like your clothes really, right? So then that woman will change all those things, and then he'll cheat on her with a woman that was exactly like her before.
Because he liked the original.
Yeah. So that's worse. At least what I'm changing you for, everybody sees the value in.
I don't think any woman I've dated, I don't think I've ever been like, I don't like you should, I don't fucking any. I've been like, I don't like your hair, you should change your hair, or maybe it's the dudes who dating.
Well, it's never happened to me, but like there was this one true crime where this woman was married to a plastic surgeon. She did everything that he, requested. You should get a boob job, honey. You should get a Brazilian. I'll get us a discount, whatever, hooked it up. Changed her whole life and whatever. And then cheated on her with a woman that had no plastic surgery. And she was heartbroken, and she ran him over repeatedly with her car and their child in the car.
Well, it sounds like he had it coming, but
yeah,
I'm just saying.
He tried to change her.
But they're bored and want a project, is what Victoria said. It's I don't know. It's a very interesting situation because I've had it in relationships before. Is that hey, I've taken you into and tried to mold you into this, and I'm like, well, that never was me. Like I didn't want to be that. So if I didn't want to be that, then why are you trying to make me something that I didn't want to be? So it's an interesting case study both ways, because like I said, it is men and women do that, but I think it's also, to me, it's a control factor. It's like I want you to do something that I want you to do for me only, and I'm like, if it doesn't make me feel good, then I don't.
Again, I don't think those are people that genuinely like you or love you like that, because I've never asked anybody to change that much of them. Like the biggest thing that I've ever said to like a man that I was dating was that he shouldn't go bald because I'm not attracted. Because I'm not attracted to him being.
Carlos, can you take your hat off for a sec?
I'm sorry, Carlos. But he wanted to go willingly bald. Like he still had hair, and he was just like, I'm gonna make it my look and be the bald guy now. And I was like, but you have hair. And then I was like, but like, don't do it. And so then like I came back home one day after work, and I see all the little specks of little hair on the floor, and he's in there shaving. No. Then in the end, he was like, better than you thought that it would look, right? And again, I had told him before I was just not into it, so it left my mouth before I got a chance to think about it. But I told him he looked like a turtle.
Oh no!
He told me years later that.
Oh no! But did you break up with that man because he cut his hair? Did you break up with that man because he cut his hair?
I'm not gonna say I did not, but there were other reasons.
He cut him like he did his hair,
right? Oh man!
But the one thing with that though, Amari, though, is you didn't make him change or ask him to change. He was changing. And I don't know. Did he ask you like, "Hey, what do you think?"
Yeah, and I had told him I was like, "No, I'm not into it."
I think it was like we're talking about like if you were like, "Hey, you have hair and everything, but I think you should shave your head. I think you'd look good bald." Or
that's
hey, you
pretty drastic change there.
Like maybe you meet a guy that's a bartender, and as you're dating, maybe every time he gets home from work, he likes to have a drink, and you're like, yeah, I think you drink too much. You shouldn't have that. And and now you're trying to change. Like I was going to say, like as an example,
those are like helpful things too.
Well, again, but you maybe not in his view. But like what I was going to give as an example is like
not to the alcoholic is.
Well, see, but you're saying alcoholic. I just said he has one drink after work.
See. And the man just cut his hair, and you just fucked his whole life up now.
No, I was going to give you an example, like me and your mom's thing. Like I know when she gets off work, she doesn't really want to talk. She likes to defrag, and the way she does that is she likes to put on the news which is crazy to me because I'm like, it's so fucking depressing. But that's her thing. She likes to watch the news. She knows my thing. I chill and like go brain dead by playing video games. That's like my it like it's relaxing. It also gets my competitive itch scratched, so to speak. And like we kind of, you know, we both know that those are our things. We don't fuck with each other during those times, you know. But if I would, no,
there's
but
like
I was
some women. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, but if she started saying what? Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say an example of you saying that women who do change things is like, yeah, I don't understand women who like will date a guy who's like a gamer and then be angry that he games, and just like, all right, what is the harm in this? There's not an improvement really here because nothing's being lost by him playing games unless he's still like not paying bills or something. Like,
I remember that was something that we had to tell I won't say the people's names, but because they're very, very close to me, but a buddy of mine who was married to a lady, and both of them are great. I love them both. They're very good friends of mine. But she said, like he was playing video games or something, and she's like, why? I don't understand why women trip off that. She's like, he's not out at like a titty club or any of that. He's here chilling, playing a video game. I know he's right here, and you know,
you have eyes on him. He's right here.
If I need to check, and I was like, man, that sounds a little possessive, but all right.
But you finish that point before we wind up out of time. You finish your point.
But like, you know, if I started telling Angel like or knowing this about her, if I'm like, you know, I think it's kind of fucked up that you kind of just veg out when you come home. I want to know about your day. I think you should tell me about your day. And then, you know, or she's like, oh, he's playing the fucking. I mean, I dated one girl that she like, you know, I when I'm playing a video game, I just want to chill. I don't want to think about anything. I just want to focus on that, and it's a way for me to relax and kill some stress. And there was a lady I dated that she like fucking got bent out of shape about it, and I was like, well, fucking you're adding to my stress, and this is trying to relieve my stress.
That's the thing I don't understand about who is that harming at all, because like, you know, by a mom coming in and watching the news and you taking your time to play games, when you do spend time together, you're like, oh, awesome, we get to hang out now because we both did the things we wanted to do. And I don't think there's anything wrong in when I say changing somebody, it's not to change their personality or whatever. It is tiny improvements, but the base and the person itself, I'm in love with that person and they're great. And you shouldn't want to change somebody.
Though, you think it's an improvement, but maybe they don't. That's the thing is like I mean, like I was saying earlier about the joke I used to do, like if we like a girl and I'm digging her, unless, you know, like there's stuff you just don't know about yet, like I'm, you know, in my free time I like to fucking juggle kittens or some fucking crazy, I don't know, then yeah, that's an issue. But like for the most part, if I'm dating somebody and I'm liking it, I'm like, and then all of a sudden she does like a 180 and changing, then yeah, I'm gonna be like, well, what the fuck happened? I liked you, that's why I started dating you, is I liked you, but yeah, I don't know, it's the changing shit. I think I guess it would. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I think at the end of the day, people, you know what especially within the first few dates, you know what you're getting into. And you know if this is going to be a renovation project, or is this going to be a house I'm walking into that I can modify a few things here or there.
Or do we want to just tear the whole fucking thing down?
Right, down to the ground. And we're going to the foundation with this. And I think that's where people have to start making a judgment decision for themselves is, do I want to burn this down to the ground and then have to build this back up? Or is this something that's a few things here or there that I'm going to be pleased with? But that whole idea of having to go in and change somebody to try to mold them into what you wanted, then that's a dangerous slippery slope for me.
Well, I see this question here, but I think that we naturally do that to each other, because your boyfriend will be like, hey, I hate that one perfume you wear. It's gross. And you're like, thanks for that improvement. Now I know not to wear that perfume.
But that's an improvement. That's
See,
not
it's
saying
an improvement.
But that's also not him. That's not his personality or, you know, I mean, I get but yeah, Crazy Cutie said this is for the podcast people, we have to read it. The real question is, what happens when they start doing that to you? Like, I mean, you know, like it's different if they're asking your opinion. Like, you know, Angel, you know, she's asked me how I like her hair, you know, or like, and I always tell her I think she looks great with short hair because it highlights her face, how beautiful her face is. And then, or I'll ask her like some outfit. I'm like, how do you think this fits? Or, is it too baggy or blah, 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 and stuff. But I don't look at that as like, oh, that's changing because I'm asking or she's asking, but if I was just to be like, yeah, I don't really like your hair like that, I think you should go short.
Or go bald. Don't go bald. Or don't go bald.
Yeah, fucking
God.
Like if you're wearing dad jeans and I'm trying to bring you into the times, and I come home one day with some new jeans for you, and I'm like, baby, try these jeans on that don't squish your butt and have you looking like Hank Hill. Is that really the worst thing for you? It's improving.
It sounds like I think we have to wind this up here. It sounds like Amari is a cold piece, like someone said on this.
Yeah.
Crazy
Q said, damn, she a cold piece.
A cold piece right there.
I didn't leave that man because he was bald, and there were other conditions back there.
You have to go, Amari. So we'll just get our plugs in. We'll just let people decide how they feel about you. Real quick, Amari, give your social media info.
Well, guys, if you guys want to follow me and check me out, sometimes I make funny TikToks, sometimes I don't. But my handle is @Amari DeJoie on Instagram and on Facebook as well.
Yeah, her TikToks are mainly just shitting on bald dudes. Okay, Carlos,
and coming from the bald dude. Coming from the bald dude. I am actually headed to the LA Comedy Club right now to go do a set, and then right. I think I'm there a couple of times more this week. But y'all can check all my stuff out on parttimefamous.com or comediancarlosanthony.com.
That's right.
God, I hope I fucking get my car back soon. I don't have anything this week. You can go to bigirishj.com. Coming up, though, I'll be in Richland, Washington, Bakersfield with Carlos. Sacramento, doing a one-nighter in August. I'll be in Oak Park, Illinois. There's a bunch of gigs here in Vegas. Big Pine Comedy Festival in Phoenix. I'm going to be in, where the fuck is this? Oh, that's in, I'll be in Connecticut. And then I'm going to Ireland in October. You go to bigirishj.com for tickets. And until next week, keep putting the love back in you, right? There's been love.
Thanks for having me.